Hello, everybody, and welcome to the weekly service for Between the Worlds Church. Between the Worlds Wiccan Christian Church is intentionally radically inclusive, and we welcome all persons of any race, color, age, ancestry, sexual or relationship orientation, body size, gender, religion, or any other difference. We respect each other and remember that all of our beliefs are equally valid in the eyes of spirit. We love all the deities that are represented in our virtual congregation, and we include Jesus in our spiritual practice, however he may choose to come to us. I'm Reverend Gina Pond, and I welcome you to our midweek online service. Big announcement today is that I'm attempting and experimenting with both live streaming on both Facebook and YouTube today. So let me know if there's any problems with sound or anything like that. And hopefully it won't be too horrible and it will work. And next week is our Imag service, and also it will be a Eucharist service. So if you're just new to my services, when we do Eucharist, I ask you to have a little tasty treat and some fluid that works for you, and we will bless them together. But that will be next week. And so let us move forward and call in the elements. Spirits of the east, of air, may we always gain new knowledge and the resources to recognize our truth. Spirits of the south, of fire, may we always call on our passion to drive us and to do the work that Spirit has called us to do. Spirits of the west, of water, may we always remember to acknowledge the feelings of others and find our compassion. Spirits of the north, of earth, may we always remember that no matter who we are part of the earth, and that we are made from the earth and will go back to the earth. And spirits of the center, the community which we are, may we always hold each other up through the bad and the good in any way we are called and able to serve. So today I'm calling in Jesus mostly, and any other spirits that can help us face our fears and fear of the other and having compassion for the other. So, if you'd like prayers said for you, or if you have permission from another to have prayers said for them, you can please post them in the chat. And today I'm praying for the U.S., especially for all the federal workers who have been out of work for over a month now and haven't gotten paid. I personally know quite a few people who are affected by that. I pray for everybody in the UK where they're dealing with Brexit and have no idea what's going to happen. And I pray for all other refugees and people who feel displaced because their countries have given up on them or their countries have fallen apart. So if anybody has anything else to add to prayers, and I will apologize for looking at my other screen a lot because I need to kind of handle both resources. But if you have any other prayers you'd like to say, or you would like to just say your own personal prayers, I will have a moment to do so. Spirits of the universe, please hear our prayers. Okay. So today's reading is actually very familiar to a lot of you who are into sci-fi. So I'll just go ahead and read it and you'll know who it's from. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me, and when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing, only I will remain. And if you don't know where that's from, that is from Frank Herbert's Dune. So today I ask you a question. What do you fear? Yep, you got it right. So what do you fear? And how much of that fear is based on fear of the other? In other words, do you fear people who don't look like you or have different genders or sexual orientations? Do you fear people who have different colored skin than you? Or maybe you fear fat people or people who you presume to have a different religion than you. How many types of these fears are based in reality? How much of the fears that you have about the other have you been taught? And how much you fear about those who are different from you is actually true? And if you're a Christian, how much of your fear keeps you from doing the work that Jesus told us to do? If you're a pagan and believe that deity is in everyone and everything, how does your fear keep you from applying that to everybody? Frank Herbert's litany about fear from Dune is actually pretty spot on about the way human fear is. It does kill your mind. It closes off your mind. And we're seeing that in many countries right now. I mean, leaders have stoked fears about the other, boogie boogie, to the point where people are violently acting out against them. And it's just causing so much pain and hardship in our world. And it's hard to have hope that we will get over these fears, right? And I asked the questions that I did because there's some of you that I'm going to be preaching to the choir here. But there's maybe some of you who watch my videos and, you're not sure about that kind of stuff. And what I want you to do, and I asked you the questions that I did, is because I want you to think about your fears of people who are different than you and really take a look at them, really examine them. I mean, how many of them are actually rational? I mean, how many are rational and how many are taught, right? For example, like if you've been taught to fear immigrants taking away jobs in your country, is that really true? Do you know what it takes to immigrate to your country or to another country and find work? And most of the time, it's actually quite difficult to actually get the permits required to work as an immigrant in another country. And for a lot of immigrants, legal or not, the jobs that are available to them might be low, or a lot of them are low-level jobs. And, if you're in a country and you're happy there and you're not an immigrant, would you take a janitorial job or the housekeeping job or a farm worker job if you actually just needed a job? And the reality is and I'm speaking mostly from a white American perspective to my fellow white people, white privileged people, I should say. Although these types of fears do exist in other groups in other countries, and it's complicated, right? That many white people think that immigrants are somehow evil, stealing jobs, etc., when the facts say it's completely the opposite. And it's not the immigrants that are the problem. It's the taught fear of them that is the problem. And it's the same with like transgender people, gay or lesbian people, or even fat people. The irrational fears that are taught close the mind to accepting the evidence that those fears are completely unfounded. And so if we let go of these irrational fears that we were taught to fear, then what are we left with? And I think we're left with having to examine our prejudices and seeing that maybe what we feared about feared about the other is just another human being, just like me or you. And that those who are different from us aren't really all that different, and that they deserve the same rights, compassion, and respect that we would want for ourselves. Ooh, golden rule, funny that. And in America, particularly, because that's the experience I can speak to, there are many things that I was taught to fear that I had to learn to let go of. And it's taken a lot of diligence not to let my ingrained racism or homophobia or misogyny color my perceptions of those who are different from me. And with racism, it's not that I don't see color, which would be not denying a person of color's struggle and identity. But I try really hard not to let their skin color be the defining aspect of who they are as a person or what they can do in my own head. Like, I try to get rid of those tapes that say a brown person is supposed to be such and so. And I think this should be common courtesy. Like, you need to learn this to be respectful of people, right? I mean, I wouldn't want someone else to define my worth and ability just on going by my sexual orientation or my body size. So why should I judge someone else's worth and ability by those types of surface things as well, right? But unfortunately, humans are what they are. And our fear makes us forget that we can and should be better than what we've been taught. Now, this doesn't mean that there aren't legitimate fears to have in regards of our fellow human beings. I mean, we should definitely fear those who seek to oppress us. We should fear those who act on their irrational, prejudicial fears. We should fear dictators and war and violence. Those are things to legitimately be afraid of. But how many of those fears, those prejudicial fears, and people that act on them, how many of those fears could be reduced if we as humans let go of these taught irrational fears? How many wars would have been averted, right? And we won't know until we try to do that. And if we don't let go and examine who we are without these fears, and then when we try, well, let me restate that. And if we do let go and examine who we are without these fears, then only we will remain, right? Like, only humans. And maybe we'll be humans who are curious, who explore, and who find strength in difference, and not just weakness. So let us pray. Spirits of the universe, may we let go of the fears that cause us to hate the other. May we let go of the misconceptions and lift up that which makes us human. May we realize that the very things we don't want others to do to us are sometimes the same things we do and have done to others. May we remember that Jesus and many other spirits have taught us that we should love the other as we love ourselves, and that if we want to be closer to spirit, we should heed those teachings. Amen, and so may it be. So, I'd like to say thank you to Jesus and to all the other deities who have shown up. Thank you to the spirits of earth, water, fire, and air. And thank you to all of you who have joined me today. And may you go in peace and blessed be. And if anybody wants to stay and chat, I can do that. But otherwise, have a great week. Excellent. The YouTube stream is going directly through YouTube. Sort of, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying some software, so hopefully I'll get it fully sorted next time. But thank you for letting me know. All right. Have a good one.